Hi Riyajul. Hi everyone.
Am I audible to everyone? Yes, when I go ahead, you can unmute yourself. Hello. When are you not audible? Guys who are watching in the YouTube, you can join this particular Zoom link. Yeah. Hi Vinay. Hi everyone. Um, we'll start the session in a couple of minutes. Meanwhile, you can write a short intro about you in the chat. That would be easy for me to understand your background, and based on that, we can decide the session piece. We can start the session now. So the first agenda for today is how to sign up and access the course. So as of now, you know that we're discussing about fundamentals of data success and algorithm. It's a foundation batch, right? So what you can do, you can access our website, which is nothing but Bharat EduHub. I'll share the URL, but it's pretty simple. You can just type it out, Bharat EduHub. You will be able to get it. Okay. So our home page looks something like this. Are you able to view the screen? And is Bharat EduHub visible to you? Can you please confirm in the chat? Guys, can you please confirm in the chat? Is Bharat EduHub visible to you? Yes. If it is visible, we can move forward. So what you can do, you can click on login or register, right? Once you do that, you have to fill up the form. Okay, I have to verify whether I'm a robot or not. Cool. Generally, we don't have these kinds of checks, but select it to the crossroad. I don't know why it's irritating me today. Is there anything with the crosswalk? Nope. Let's take it forward. So once you reach over here, it will ask you to write down your email address, username, and password. Generally, we should not ask the username. Somehow it is designed in the way we want to change the way we log in into the system. But I'll suggest, let me take a sample email and show you how you can sign up and you can access the course content. Okay, let's take the mail as programming world by SJ. Okay, @gmail.com. I'll suggest whatever is your username, whatever is your email, keep the same as username. Cool. And you can set the password over here. Let's say anything, what you want, you can keep it as a password. There is no check on the password. Whatever you want, you can keep it as a password. You can enter your first name. Let's say Anand R and I'm not robot. And then you can click on. Oh, this captcha is really irritating. Cool. Verify. With the crosswalks. Okay. You can click on register. As soon as you will click on register, you will receive a mail. Most probably, you will receive the mail in your spam box. So can you, if you're following the step, please go to your spam box and then you can click here. So you will receive the mail, something like this. I can show it to you on screen, right? And as soon as you will click verify, your application is verified. And over here, you can enter the username, you can enter the password. I'm not robot. Bus 123. And you can click on verify. Oh, it's quite irritating. We'll definitely remove this up in the next version of our website. But as of now, we don't have any other option. Shit. Done. And then you can click on login. I don't know why it has came 3 times. Maybe I have entered the wrong captcha. Okay. So now what you can do, you can see all the courses over here. You can go to courses section and then there is foundation of data success and algorithm. You have to click it over here. Then buy now. It's free course, so you don't have to do anything with the payment. It's just the website is designed in this way. Once it is done, now you're able to view the course. Is it clear to everyone how you can log in into the HackerRank? Sorry, in Bharat Edu, please confirm if it's clear to you how you can log in into the Bharat Edu, right? Cool. Now, once you are done, what you can see, we have added all the recorded videos which you can access. It's available in the YouTube. It's just that it's in the organized way. It's in the right chronological order. So we have uploaded multiple videos. We have also uploaded the notes. During the session, you can also make your own notes. Whatever we are discussing in the classroom, we will also share that as well. It's the notes which we have prepared it for you. I hope it's clear to you how you can access it. Once you are done reading this particular note, what you can do, you can mark it as complete so that you will also have an idea what you have revised and what is left for you. Is it clear to everyone how you can access the course content over here? It's the same way you can access the course content in the Udemy. Link of this, definitely I'll share this URL in the WhatsApp. You can access it, right? Cool. Now, apart from this, are you able to view the Excel sheet, everyone? We'll share this. Is Excel sheet visible to you? We're gonna share this as well. Whatever the class notes, we'll attach it over here. With respect to this particular session, what are the problem statement discussed? That also will attach it over here, and over here we'll attach the assignment, right? For those, it's a first session. What you can do, the previous session is already in the YouTube. You can go and watch it. There we have discussed how can you access the hacker rank, how can you access the problem statement on the hacker rank, right? Cool. So let's take it forward. We are done with how to sign up and access the course. We are done with about the Excel sheet and the assignment. We are repeating this particular point. What are the prerequisites to join this particular batch? If you know any of the programming language and if you know the fundamental of it, that's more than enough to join this particular batch. What do I mean by fundamental? If you know how to write if condition, for loop, that's sufficient. A function or a method, that's more than enough to attend this batch, right? A short intro about me. My name is Anand. I worked at Salesforce as a software engineer. I got the rank 39 all around the world in Code Vita, and I'm doing competitive programming from last 7 years. So me and Satwat have designed this particular course. It's a beginner friendly, and it will definitely give you the kickstart in the data success and algorithm, right? Now, let's discuss about the syllabus. Once we are done, then we will discuss about the problem statement. Okay, cool. Those who are watching live in the YouTube, you can respond in the comments. Definitely, I'll try to respond. Okay, somehow this touchpad is not responding. Just give me a minute. Now, the first thing we're gonna learn is control statement. What they gonna cover in the control statement? If condition. Okay, yeah. If, if else, if else if, right? Now, we are not just gonna cover the syntax based on if condition, if else, if else, if. We're gonna solve the problem statement based on if else, if else, if. That would be the foundation. That will start building your logic, when to use if condition, when to go for if else, when to go for if else, if. Once we're done with that, we'll talk about logical operator. In logical operator, we will discuss three things: or operator, and operator, and not. Again, we just not look into the syntax. We will discuss how you can solve the problem statement based on logical operator. Then we're gonna discuss about loops. I think you're aware of for, while, and do while. So most of the problem statement you can solve using for and while. Majority of the cases, it can be done using for and while. Rarely there would be a scenario where you need to use do while. Okay, generally in terms of competitive programming. And also in my experience, I have used for loop, while loop, but I have never used do while so far. Cool. Then we'll be discussing about pattern printing. So what do I mean by pattern printing? So you have seen structure of this kind. If let's say n value is 3, you have to print something like this. If n equal to 4, you have to print something like this. Maybe in your school, maybe in your college, you would have seen such patterns. Yes, no? You have seen that? Yeah. So we'll be discussing these patterns as well. There are we have created around 20 to 25 problem statement based on pattern itself. So why we are emphasizing so much on pattern printing? Because it will help you understand nested loops. How does it work? Lots of people struggle in the nested loops. That's very, very important to understand because it will build your imagination. You don't have to trace your code always, and it's an good thing to learn. Many companies like TCS, Infosys, you can find these questions in their interview. Okay. Once we are done with that, we'll talk about 1D array. Then we will talk about 2D array. Guys, understand that we are not teaching the language concept that what is 1D array, what is 2D array. If you know what is 1D array, if you know what 2D arrays, will help you how to solve the problem statement by using these concepts. Okay. Then we'll be talking about searching. In searching, there are mainly two things, linear search and binary search. Then we'll talk about sorting algorithms. There are various sorting algorithms like bubble sort, insertion sort, selection sort, count sort. I have personally seen question based on count sort in the interviews. Okay. So there is a company called Cadence Design System. One of the interview question was based on count sort. Okay. Once we are done with that, we'll be discussing the problem statement based on maths. A very simple can be finding the area, finding the square root, right? So you'll say, I will use the inbuilt function to find the square root of it. What's the trick about it? For example, in Java, there is a library called sqrt, math.sqrt. If you will call math.sqrt of 4, what's the square root of 4? What's the square root of 4, guys? That's a very simple and straightforward question. 2. So how does square root function works internally? So let's say in the interview, the question given it to you is, can you find the square root of it? Definitely, you can use the inbuilt library and get the result. The next question would be, you have to do it without using inbuilt library. So you have to understand how does square root function works internally. And there are two ways to solve it. One, linear approach, and another you can use the concept of binary search. Okay. So we're gonna discuss all those concepts in detail. Most of the problem statements we are covering belongs to either of two category. One, it will help you build your concept. Second, that's asked in the interview. So we won't discuss problem statement apart from that. We don't want to show you that we can discuss these complex problem statement. We don't want to project ourselves that we are teaching something different. We'll be teaching whatever is required in the interview and whatever is required for you to build the concept. That's the agenda. Next, we're going to talk about time and space complexity. Anyone has heard this term time and space complexity? Anyone? What is time complexity? What is space complexity? Yes, no? Generally, whenever you're writing an algorithm, definitely it will take some time and it will occupy some space in the memory. Do you agree with this or not? Whenever you're writing an algorithm or whatever the piece of code you've written, it will take certain time to execute and it will occupy certain space, right? In the memory. Generally, it's RAM, if it's clear. Now, let's say I want to find the square root of the square root of 10 the power 18. You can write various algorithm for that. And it can happen that one of the algorithm will take less time. Do you agree with me? And some of the algorithm will take more time than other. Agreed? Now we are not going into much of the details, but I can tell you we can optimize the code in such a way that one algorithm is taking 31 years or even more than that to execute a particular piece of code. And if you write an optimized code for that particular same problem statement, it can be done in 4 and 5 seconds. So we are not attaching any problem statement to it, but do you understand the importance of writing an optimized code? You can bring down the time from 31 years to 4 to 5 seconds. Not in all the cases, but yeah, if you write unoptimized code, that's a problem. So I think you also get an idea why company focus much on data success and algorithm in the interview. Because once you learn data success and algorithm and once you learn time and space complexity, trust me, you will never write unoptimized code. Even if you see the unoptimized code, you will always have that thing in mind to write the optimized code. I hope it's clear. Cool. Let's take it forward. The last step for the foundation batch would be interview questions. What we're gonna cover in the interview questions, as it is the foundation batch, and our first step is to have the offer letter, right? Whether it is of 3.5 lakhs, 4 lakhs, 6 lakh, we should first have an offer letter, and then we can think of it getting the better package. Do you agree with this? The first step is to have the job, right? So you know the mass recruiter in our country are TCS, Infosys, Cognizant, Accenture, right? There would be other companies, but what I know so far, these are the companies who hire the candidate in bulk. Agreed? We'll be spending last 1 week discussing the problem statement that has been asked in TCS, Infosys, and Cognizant. Now, when we are discussing the problem statement, I won't be solving it. You guys will be solving those problem statement. So I'll give you the problem statement. This is the approach you're gonna follow. I will give you the problem statement and 15 minutes of time to tackle this problem statement on your own. Wherever you are stuck, you can share your screen, you can discuss your thought. I'll give you hints. After that, I'll help you with the solution, right? So if you practice in this way, you will also gain the confidence that yes, if I will encounter the problem statement, I can solve it on my own. And these problem statement will be different from what you learn. So guys, you have to also develop an attitude. Let's say you solved 20 problem statements. When you are learning in this batch. Okay, now I give you the new problem statement. You haven't solved it. So instead of directly quitting that I cannot solve this particular problem statement, it is something new to me. What you should think, can I use any of the concept which I have learned in the previous 20 problem statement? It can happen that you have to bring some of the concept from one problem statement, some concept from the other problem statement. It can happen that it has 3 to 4 logics in order to solve it. But you have to develop that attitude. And that attitude preparation we will do in the last 1 week. You will be solving 40-50 problem statement, then we'll give you new set of problem statement and we want you guys to solve it. I know you won't be perfect in the first go, but we expect at the end of this batch you will have that attitude. Cool. Then we will move on to the intermediate batch and all that stuff. But that's the focus you're gonna do in the foundation of data success and algorithm. Okay. Trust me, once you're done with this batch, you can easily crack the companies which I have mentioned. So getting job in the IT is not tough. I don't know why people are not able to meet such a basic requirement. What do you need in the interview? A language? Do you agree with me? Any language will work in the interview. Second, basic coding knowledge. Third, a project. Even if you have developed using HTML, CSS, JavaScript, that will work. That will work. Honestly, that will work. And you can use a little bit of Bootstrap to make it attractive, right? So it's not a rocket science. If you spend 5 to 6 months, definitely you can get the job. And what is the best part I like about the IT industry? So, for example, you're preparing for government job. I give this example multiple times and in all the batches. Government job. Let's say, can you name any of the exams which you have appeared or your friends have appeared? Okay, let's take the UPSC. How many times exam is conducted in a year? Once in a year? Agreed? If you fail, the next attempt you will give in the second year. If you fail again, you will give the next attempt in the third year. If you fail again, you will give the next attempt in 4 year. And I think there is certain limit that after that you cannot give the exam again, right? And there are certain exam where paper leak is also an issue. Agreed? Paper leak is also an issue. First, you're not able to clear it. Let's say you clear it, there is a paper leak issue. I'm not talking about the UPSC, I'm just talking about the government exams in general. Third, results won't come out. That's also an issue. Agreed? And that's the general problem with the government exams. But in IT industry, if you fail in TCS will say, come after 6 months. Okay, I'll go to Infosys. I'll fail in Infosys, Accenture, Cognizant. I think there are thousands of IT companies in India. One or other will definitely give you a job, right? And whatever you learn from the experience of TCS interview, you can carry forward to the Infosys, carry forward to the Accenture, carry forward to Cognizant. How many times you will fail, yeah? 5 times, 6 times, 10 times. So within 2 to 3 months, you can give at least 5 to 10 attempts. That's what I have noticed, and that's the industry in general. And always take failure as a learning step. Don't be disappointed. Cool. I have personally experienced myself that company have rejected me. Let's take an hypothetical example. Let's take I'm earning 20 lakhs. Company have rejected me who are paying around 18 lakhs, and those who are paying 24 have selected me. That's my previous salary figure. So that's actually happened with me. I'm not gonna reveal the current salary figure, but yeah, I hope you got an example. I hope you got an idea. So whenever you're making a switch, it can happen that the companies who is paying less can reject you, companies paying high can select you. It depends on the evaluation and it depends on how was your day. So there is a saying that if it's a good day, they will ask you what's your father's name, and if it's a bad day, they will ask, tell me what's my father's name. I hope you understand the chronology, what can happen to you in the interview. So if it's your day, you have practiced a lot of problem statement, they will ask you the question based on what you have practiced. If it's not, you will get the problem statement which you have never thought of. Yes, Vinay, is there anything you want to say? Shall I unmute you if you want to add on anything? Vinay, you have raised hand. Do you want to mention something? Hmm. Cool. Okay, let's take it forward. If you don't have anything to say, let's start the session with the first problem statement. I won't write down the code over here. I'll give you a chance that you can write down code on your own, whatever the language you want. I'll share the hacker rank link. I have already uploaded the video. How can you access the hacker rank? So give it a shot. Even if you fail to solve, we will discuss tomorrow. We'll discuss the exact code what you have to write. But as of now, we'll discuss the logic and discuss the pseudocode, and you have to convert the pseudocode into language of your choice. Okay. And I'm also going to teach you one of the most important thing. Let's see how many of you succeed with that. Let's say a number is 5. Okay. Let me put it in this way. If a number is positive, if number is positive, what you have to do, you have to print 1. So for example, if number is 5, you have to print 1. If number is 100, you have to print 1. If number is 1000, you have to print 1. Are you able to understand this? In the input, if the number is positive, you have to print 1. Is it clear to all? Now, let's say if number is negative. If number is negative, let's say it's -5, it's -10, -100. What you have to do on -1000, you have to print -1. Are you clear with the problem statement? Can you write down the code for this in your language of choice? Is everything clear to you? Am I missing something? Or is everything clear to you? Am I missing something? Yes, no? It's clear. Are you sure you're not missing something? Okay, I'll ask you the question now. What if the number is 0? What you gonna print? If number is 0, what you gonna print? 1 or -1? For 0, you will print 0, correct? But have I mentioned any time about 0 while discussing the problem statement? No, right? So these things generally come under corner test cases. Whenever you're writing the hacker rank exam, think about all the possible scenarios. What will happen if the number is 0? What will happen if the number is positive? What will happen if the number is negative? Agreed that you have to look into the corner test cases. It's very important. So it will not happen just in the hacker rank test. It can happen to you in the face-to-face interview. When you're having the interview, interviewer deliberately will miss some of the point. Now, If he has missed some of the point, what he's expecting from you, maybe you would have solved the problem statement before, you would have known what is the thing that is being missing, but still you should ask the question instead of just assuming. As of now, many of you assume if it's zero, I will print zero. What if it's zero, he wants you to print one? What if it's zero, he wants to ignore and do nothing? Anything can happen, right? So you have to ask the clarify question. So do you have any idea why interviewer want you to ask the clarifying question? Anyone? No? So for example, for example, let's say I'm working on any particular task. My manager is explaining something to me. So do you get an idea that in an industry we develop each thing from the scratch, right? There is no if something is developed, I don't have to do that, right? I have to listen to the requirement of my manager and develop it, right? I'll get the requirement. Based on that requirement, see, there are lots of steps involved. Uh, I'm not going to the complication of it. If it's your manager, if it's a senior, just understand that you got a requirement. Based on that, you have to do the implementation, right? So, is it feasible that every time he's giving me the requirement, in the first go, I will be understand correctly and I will implement it? Is it possible that two guys are having the conversation, whatever the first person is trying to explain it to you, will understand every time correctly what he is trying to imply? Is it ever possible? It can happen that first person, like my manager, can miss out some of the details. It can happen that I can assume something of the functionality. Do you agree with me in that these kind of scenario can happen? Do you agree that these kind of scenarios can happen into the industry, that requirements are not clear, or you're not able to understand clearly what exactly to do? So at the time I have to ask the clarify question. Yeah, of course, I'm not saying always. I have to ask the clarify questions, right? So first thing, they want to see whether you do that or not. Second, whether your mind think in that way or not. Agreed? It can happen that he may miss something. It may happen that you misunderstood, right? So always make sure that you are clarifying all the requirements before implementing it. Even into the interview, make this as in practice. Okay? If you genuinely don't understand anything, make sure you're asking the clarify question. Or if you understood everything, you can just repeat, okay, I'm thinking in this way. Shall we proceed further? Okay? So we are diverting a lot from the topic, but trust me, that's going to help you in the long run. Whenever you will sit for the interview, whenever you are solving the problem statement. Okay, cool. Let's take it forward. So as you were discussing about if number is positive, you have to print 1. If number is negative, you have to print 0, sorry, -1. And if no, value is 0, you have to print 0. Right? These are the three scenarios which you have to do. Now, tell me, if you want to write down the program, what is the first thing you will do? If you want to write down the program, what is the first thing you will do? If condition. So Riyajul, you can definitely put the if condition in order to solve this. But before putting the if condition, don't you think that you have to read the number and store it in a variable? So guys, can you tell me which language do you guys use to code? C? Okay. What about you? You're also using C? Okay, cool. Guys, there is no problem using C. You can definitely write down the code using C. Uh, if you have time, Can you also work on upgrading yourself from C to C++? Can you spend some time on upgrading from C to C++? You can definitely learn this code. You can solve all the problem statement using C++. We are in BSc first year, so we are in C. Okay. So Rudra Pratap, there is no hard and fast rule that you have to learn C first, then you can learn C++, and then you can learn Java or Python. Any language of choice you can learn. I can understand in your college they would be teaching you C first, right? So whatever the syntax you're learning from C, check what is an equivalent syntax for C++. Fundamental or this foundation batch, you can definitely do it using in C as well. There won't be any problem. But in the intermediate batch, in the advanced batch, it will be required for you to learn the advanced concepts. Okay. Yeah, of course, you can use C in a number and value will be stored over here. Cool. Now you have the value stored in this num variable. What you can do next, you can put the if condition. If num greater than 0, that's the first thing, right? If num is greater than 0, what should I do? If the num value is greater than 0, what should I do? Print. Yeah, that implies that number is positive, right? Then I should print something. What should I print? What should I print? 1. Print 1. I think yeah, I think in C++ it's printf, right? Printf percentage %d and you can use 1 over here, something like this. I do not remember the exact syntax, but you guys can correct me. You're learning C right now. Okay, cool. Printf we use, right? Oh, yes, in C++ you can use cout. In Java you can use println. And in the Python, I think you can directly use print to print it. Yeah. Okay. If number is greater than 0, you have to print 1. Can I say that we have to use else if here, right? This is the way we talk here. Whether the number is greater than 0, else you'll check whether the number is less than 0. If number is less than 0, what I have to do? I have to print -1, percentage %d -1. Makes sense. Now, else you have to print 0. So, is there any alternative way to write down the program for this? Can I write this program using 3 separate if condition? Yes or no? Can I write down this program using 3 separate if condition? Rudra Pratap agreed. What about Riyajul, Vinay? Can we do it? Of course, we won't go into the such concept. I'm saying that can we write this program using 3 separate if condition? We can. So what is the preferred way? Using if else if or using if? If else if? Okay. So you can write 3 separate if condition. That will also work. So when to go for 3 separate if and when to go for if else if? Can anybody answer this? When to go for 3 separate if and when we can go for if else if? 3 separate if when all the if conditions are independent. And if else if when they are dependent. What do I mean by dependent? So for example, if number is greater than 0, can this number ever be less than 0? If number is greater than 0, let's say I've selected the number 10. If the first condition is true, can other two condition will ever be true? No, right? But just imagine that. So you understand, right? There is a dependency between if else if any one of them will be true, correct? But let's say uh, I'll modify the particular problem statement and let's see. Um, okay, as of now, I won't complicate it further. But if you understand this, that's more than enough. What I want is to solve this particular problem statement in the HackerRank. In tomorrow's session, we will discuss about uh, when to go for three separate if. So this is the problem statement. Are you able to see the HackerRank? Categorize the number. Yes. So over here, you have to write down the code. You can select the language of your choice, C, and you can, once you've written the logic, you can click on run code to verify, and then you can also submit the code. When you will submit the code, it will verify the hidden test cases. So as you can see, we already have 67 submission for this particular problem statement, right? Be one of them. Make sure that once you're done with the batch, you're on the top list of the leaderboard. Cool. Cool, guys. We are ending the session now. If you have any doubts, you can ask, and then we can wrap up. I'll share the sheet link and the website link in the WhatsApp group. Do you have anything else to ask? Also, if you're in school and college, you can motivate your friends to join this batch. It will be helpful. You can practice in the group as well. Anything you want to ask? Anyone? No? All your doubts are clear. Okay. So guys, if there is anything, feel free to ping me. Feel free to drop the message in the WhatsApp group. We can definitely take it up in the session. Okay. Thanks for joining. Bye bye. Have a great day. Yeah. Chalo. Bye bye.